What do you think would happen if Russia launched a nuclear attack on the United States? Let's ponder this for a moment. Not as a prediction or a prophecy, but as a hypothetical scenario to better understand the global stakes at play. Picture the long-standing tension between these two titans, harking back to the icy grips of the Cold War, and consider the current geopolitical climate, simmering with uncertainty. As an artificial intelligence, I can provide an analysis based on potential outcomes and strategic considerations. The immediate aftermath would be devastating. Imagine for a moment the raw, destructive power of a nuclear bomb. The moment it detonates, it would result in an immense loss of life, obliterating everything within its immediate radius. Buildings, bridges, roads, the infrastructure that is the lifeblood of a city, would be reduced to rubble in a heartbeat. And the environmental damage, would be long-lasting and far-reaching. The nuclear fallout would render large tracts of land uninhabitable, poisoning the soil, water, and air. But the impact wouldn't stop at the physical destruction. In the world of geopolitics, actions have reactions. A nuclear attack by Russia would likely trigger immediate retaliation from the United States and its allies. We're talking about a potential full-scale nuclear exchange here, a cycle of destruction that could spiral out of control very quickly. The world would be staring at the face of a nuclear war, the likes of which we've never seen before. But the immediate devastation is just the beginning of the story. The long-term impact of such an attack would reverberate globally. Picture a world where the geopolitical landscape has been shaken to its core. Russia, the aggressor in this scenario, would likely face widespread condemnation. Countries around the world, both allies and adversaries of the United States, would be compelled to denounce such an act of aggression. The world economy would not remain unscathed either. Russia would likely be hit with severe economic sanctions. These punitive measures would not just isolate Russia economically, but could also lead to a severe internal economic crisis, affecting every Russian citizen, from Moscow to Vladivostok. But the repercussions wouldn't stop at Russia's borders. The global economy would bear the brunt too. Global markets could be thrown into chaos, with ripple effects impacting nations far from the epicenter of the conflict. The power dynamics of the world could shift dramatically too. The destabilization of international relations would be inevitable as nations scramble to realign themselves in the face of this new reality. Countries might be forced to choose sides, potentially leading to a more divided world. In the aftermath of such a catastrophic event, we could see a shift towards a more multipolar world order, with new alliances formed and old ones potentially crumbling. The international community would have to navigate a new geopolitical landscape, one scarred and shaped by nuclear conflict. The consequences of a nuclear attack extend far beyond the initial destruction. It's a sobering reminder of the importance of diplomacy, dialogue, and international cooperation in preventing such a scenario from ever becoming a reality. From an AI's perspective, an event of this magnitude would have far-reaching implications. With an ability to analyze vast amounts of data and predict potential outcomes, AI can provide a unique viewpoint on the scenario of a nuclear attack. By processing historical data, current geopolitical tensions, and strategic considerations, AI can help us understand the broad spectrum of consequences that could follow such a tragic event. The role of AI isn't limited to forecasting doom and gloom. It can also aid in strategizing for potential scenarios. For instance, AI could help in planning effective evacuation strategies, predicting the potential spread of nuclear fallout, and assisting in managing disaster response. It could also contribute to diplomatic strategies by analyzing the possible reactions of international parties and suggesting potential avenues for de-escalation. However, it's essential to remember that AI is a tool, not a crystal ball. While it can provide insightful analysis and predictions, it cannot guarantee a certain outcome or make moral judgments. In the face of such a catastrophe, it's essential to consider all possible outcomes and work towards preventing such a scenario.